is beautiful, there's so much hope. Even in the darkest of times, there's radiating light. Live each moment fully and completely, and dance to the music of the lush green earth.
Oh yeah.
So in this video I want to talk to you guys about how to become optimally productive. And the reason I have decided to come on and talk about this is that I think during lockdown, this kind of goes hand in hand with the whole lockdown thing. During lockdown we can use this time very wisely. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So point number 1 is maintain a tidy workspace. You know, a tidy workspace equals a tidy mind space, in my opinion. And it is really quite important if you've got projects on the go, not to constantly be rushing around trying to grab at things and being in a guddle, basically. I would say that having things neatly around you is the way to go. And I find that when things are neatly around me, I think so much more clearly and can get on with my day so much more effectively. So the work that I do at my desk is a lot easier given that it's a tidy environment. So that's really important. Go to bed early and get up early is point number 2. And I think people forget the importance of this. You know, it is quite difficult actually to get into a routine with sleep. But sleep hygiene is one of the biggest keys to productivity and having good sleep hygiene. And I've found since I've been going to bed early and getting up earlier, I have more time in my day, I have more energy, and I can get on with the things that I really want to get on with. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is make to-do lists. This one's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It's just what it sounds like. Make lists of things that you need to do, then tick them off. And this way you can see your progress in a day. I often find seeing progress in a day is quite inspiring actually to keep going. And if you don't see any progress, that can actually be quite soul destroying when you've got projects on the go. So look at that progress and reward yourself for it because you deserve it. Set deadlines for yourself. Deadlines exist for a reason. And I definitely think that if you have no clear end point in mind, a project can just go on and on and on and on. And that's not a good thing. So you need to set deadlines so that you know, okay, I have to have this thing finished by such and such a date. And stick to it. Absolutely stick to it. Because you'll get more done and you will feel better about your productivity and your output. So, yeah. Next one isn't such an obvious one, but it's write down your ideas as they occur to you. I cannot stress enough the amount of times I have actually forgotten my thoughts and video ideas and ideas for little series and stuff. I've forgotten stuff because I've not written it down. So it's really important to write things down. Write your ideas down in a little notebook as they occur to you. And if you're not with a notebook when the idea pops into your head, perhaps have paper or some kind of, like this, some kind of scrap paper on you in your handbag or something, and a pen, something just to write down those ideas. This is just lined paper, cheap lined paper, but it's made into a really nice little book of scrap paper. So yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be a big deal, but I definitely think it's important to write that stuff down. The next thing that popped into my head was take time out to rest. Balancing productivity with time out is very important indeed. Oh, yes it is. If your day is not in balance, that can pose quite a problem. And it's not helpful whatsoever to be out of whack, I want to say. To be out of whack when it comes to how you are actually spending your time and balancing that time off. So it's really important, if you do something quite strenuous, to then do something quite relaxing or calming maybe. And that is actually taken from a technique called energy accounting that autistic people can use to help them get through a day. But there's no reason why somebody without autism couldn't use this strategy as well. So yeah, I use it because I'm autistic, but I think that a lot of people who are not autistic that I've spoken to about it have said, oh, that would actually help me too. So yeah, that's really, really an interesting thought. Plan out your day, keep a diary. I have here my Ruby Woo. I have my Ruby Woo. I have a budget planner. And I have a notebook. These three things really help when it comes to productivity. They're all about planning your day, but in different ways. Some of them more involved than others, some of them looser, like my notebook is definitely a looser way of going. You might not want this level of structure when you're doing a budget for yourself, for example. Budgeting your money, that can be a whole other video because I'm not very good at budgeting, but I want to get good at budgeting. So you might not want to go into all of this kind of depth. So you might want something that's like this book, where it's just plain lined paper. We're going back to this approach again. Really good for productivity. Really, really good. So I hope you guys found that video helpful. If anybody has any requests, and I've got one or two to be getting on with, but if anybody has any other requests, please let me know, and if I can answer your question or do a video based on your theme, I'd be more than happy to help. So we need each other. We definitely need each other during this time. And without further ado, I think I am going to sign out now. So over and out. Bye for now.
Live each moment fully and completely, and dance to the music of the lush green earth.
Oh yeah.